Welcome to the Mountain Magnolia Show, where your hosts Mary Noble Braden and Leanne Lewis will introduce you to Swannanoa Valley's most interesting and most iconic individuals.
Let's give 'em something to talk about.
Hello to all you wonderful listeners out there. This is Mary Noble Braden on the Mountain Magnolia Radio Show. Thank you for listening to our show today, and our focus here is to reveal the heart and soul of our beautiful community here in Western North Carolina. And every week before we start the show, we like to share a quote. And actually today my guest is going to share the quote. I've got a wonderful guest friend, Jacqueline Smith. Hey, Jacqueline.
Hello, Mary Noble. Hello. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. And Jacqueline is the director of the Black Mountain Tailgate Market, and we're going to talk all about this wonderful community market we have here. But before we do, Jacqueline, would you like to share the quote before we start?
All right. Our quote is, "But where our hearts truly lie is in peace and quiet and good tilled earth."
That is wonderful, and especially great for what we're going to be talking about today, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am. That is the theme of our market season this year. So we every year since 2023, we've picked a quote out, and we've had Mary Oliver, we've had Yeats, and now it's Tolkien, and we've got merchandise coming out.
Yay!
Yes, and that will feature our quotes, and we're real excited. That's a great way for us to fundraise for the season. So everybody make sure you make it out to the market this season and pick up some Black Mountain Tailgate merchandise.
I love Black Mountain merch. I mean, the beautiful Tailgate Market bags that you can carry fresh vegetables in, the t-shirts. So you guys, when you go to the market, it's right there where everybody's sitting under the tent before you go in. Where all those folks are sitting, you can buy merchandise, right?
Yes, right at our information booth.
Well, let's get started. Today's episode's going to be all about the tailgate market and when it is and where it is and new vendors. So tell us right now, there's going to be a market this Saturday. Tell the audience where that is and who will be there.
Absolutely. This Saturday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., we are kicking off our first of a 7-part series. It's our spring market series, and we're working with a number of familiar faces like French Broad Pantry. Lee's One Fortune Farm will be there during the season, not this Saturday, but next Saturday. And then we've got some new friendly faces. Edwards Family Farm out of Nebo is coming in, and they are a fantastic, they raise proteins, and they're super mindful and ecologically conscious about the way they do things, and they are family owned and operated and woman led. So we're excited about working with folks that really have a heart for doing things in a way that benefits everybody.
Well, they sound amazing. I need to have them on the show.
Oh, you'll like it. They're sweet.
So what exactly, you said that protein, so more like
Meats.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. Pasture-raised proteins is our way of describing kind of the way that our farms, our local farms, go about animal husbandry. So their pigs are forested, and it just improves the quality of the proteins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds amazing. Okay, so the spring market is at the White Horse, and it's on Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And this is from March 1st through April 12th.
Yes, after April 12th, we take a little break, and then we're kicking off our main season right back at First Baptist Church at the Under the Oaks, where everybody knows us to be. And that is kicking off May 3rd, and we go all the way up until November 22nd, so the last, or the Saturday before Thanksgiving, so everybody can get the goods for their Thanksgiving table spread.
That's going to be amazing. Well, you know, the markets are really going to be they always have been a staple, but they are going to be really important going into, I think, this next year. we need to support our local communities and our people here. So many people grow food here.
Yes.
And I think some people don't realize that they can support the local communities. Even, you guys take EBT, which is great. Can we talk about a little about that?
When I first came on at the tail end of 2022, one of the big points of concentration that our member-led board wanted to focus on was increasing access to all of the bounty of the fresh fruits and veggies and proteins that our farmers were bringing into the market. And so certainly we got to work immediately on that. And in 2023 and 2024, we've been able not only to accept EBT SNAP transactions, but also thank goodness for the Appalachian Sustainable Agriculture Project, we are able to double up to $20 in additional tokens to be used on purchasing fresh fruits and veggies. Even Immortal Juice, which lots of folks around here are big fans of because they don't add any sugars to their product, you can use these tokens to buy fresh squeezed juice that is made out of, organic fruits and veggies, as well as lots of locally sourced fruits and veggies. So it's an amazing program, and we are delighted to be able to participate because, of course, what that means is that we are able to be a platform that serves all. And I think that is the most important function of any market. Not only is it supporting our community through providing a happy, harmonious gathering space, but also making sure that we're increasing the revenues for our farmers and the amount of food from these fresh local farms that people can access. So implementing these, critical access, food access programs has been really an important part of the market for the last 2 years. And going forward, I think it's our job, our duty to advocate for those programs. So I would encourage everyone to call your senators and ask them not to cut SNAP and Medicaid funding, because a lot of our senior farmers market nutrition program that serves our friends and neighbors right here in Black Mountain is funded by the federal government, and it's important for us to make sure that we're advocating for those programs.
And for those that have not come to the farmers market, it really is such a wonderful place to visit with friends and meet new people, and also, to learn about mushrooms, to learn how to grow certain vegetables or how to cook things. So it's really important that we support these farmers. It's a collaboration. It's just not the farmers. Also, kids come and they're learning.
Yes.
It's more like a domino effect.
Yes.
And it's the whole package. So I love how you said to contact the senator to help not to lose the EBT. And I'll make sure when I share it on Facebook to put the phone number if anybody wants to do that.
Yes, that would be great. We are, on behalf of all of our farmers and our folks who come through the market, and they're able to access these really delicious, nutrient-rich products that are coming out of the local soil and feeding back into the local economy. I think it's important, for us to not only show up each Saturday, but to advocate for programs that increase access to those those nutrient-rich foods. I do think that it is important, touching back on the education piece, one of the, real important aspects of this market is how we go about our programming. And so for the past 2 years, we've been working to really ramp up culinary demonstrations and multisensory educational and nutrition-based activities for children. And that's become an important part of the market. We see an increasing number of families every year, and folks are just delighted to be able to have a place where not only they can see their friends and neighbors in an open air environment and bring their dogs, given that they're, well behaved, but also create this sort of family event, and it becomes part of people's rituals, I think, here. And folks are just every Saturday there's something new to learn and to explore for the kids, and I think that's great.
Yeah, this year I really feel like after all that we have been through, it's so important to have that connection with our community. And when I think of the farmers market, I think of the farmers, I think of artists, I think of friends, children, and an opportunity to learn and also give and receive.
It absolutely is all about giving and receiving. There's not only like a monetary transaction happening there, but people are nourishing one another, and this comes in the form of vendors feeling supported, our farmers feeling supported, our hardworking artisans and small business people that are families in our community feeling supported. But it also, I feel like, one of the common things that we hear among our regular folks is that this market is good for their mental health. They can count on it. And I think COVID underscored that when the market opened back up after COVID. It took a lot of work for everybody to just get back to business. And Helene was very much the same in that way. And when we opened up after Helene, the number of tears that were shed, you just can't count, because people do feel nourished by this market.
Yes, and you do an amazing job, so thank you, and give yourself credit. You are really a wonderful addition to this market and a bright light.
Thank you.
So, all right, we talked about the spring market at the White Horse from 10 to 1. We've talked about the EBT education, and do you want to talk about any specific vendors at the spring market, and then we can talk more about the summer and fall market?
Yes. So as I mentioned, we'll have some of our farms back, but because the growing season is, obviously affected by the weather, we'll move into having more fresh veggies as the market progresses. You'll see some, familiar bakers and a small amount of craftspeople that will bring in their goods. And we're just delighted to work with some of these same core folks, and then bring on folks that do really well at other markets, and Black Mountain Tailgate Market wasn't historically maybe on their radar. One, off the top of my head is Conjure Craft Chocolate. They are a bean to bar, women-led company. They're local, and they do excellent work, and they'll be bringing their chocolates to the Tailgate Market all season, which everybody's a fan of chocolate.
Oh yeah, anything I can eat chocolate is wonderful.
Yeah, it's truly comforting. And Habibi Village will be back. I know that that's a local favorite for a lot of folks who, are watching their diets or trying to reduce the amount of gluten they take in.
Habibi is great. They make these wonderful sausages. They're gluten free. They've got this wonderful either goat cheese or feta or vegan cheese from Dare.
Yeah.
And so that is, so good. So y'all, it is a really fun time to go out and just be with people. So come by on Saturday, and it's, like I said, at 10 a.m. Jacqueline's going to be there. I'm going to be there. So stop by and say hello. All right.
We'll have live music.
Oh,
I know
yay.
everyone's pretty stoked about getting back to the market because we've had some incredible success with emerging artists come through our doors and take the main stage, and so this also not only gives us the chance to expand the food access programs into a greater duration of the season, but also to support our local musicians who many of you know have been hard hit by Helene, and they're looking for additional venues. Thanks to our sponsors, we can pay them, and so we hope you guys will come and enjoy the live music aspect of the market as well. It's really important to a lot of folks.
It is. Well, speaking of sponsors, let's talk about that for a while too. Okay. Sponsors, and also if anyone's wanting to volunteer. If someone wanted to sponsor, which you get your name on a sign, you get your name on the website and the Facebook page, how would they sign up?
So we actually have a sponsorship page and a sponsorship form on our website. You can visit our website at blackmountainmarket.org and click on Get Involved. And underneath that, there's a sponsor tab. There's also a tab for volunteering.
Yay.
If you're interested in volunteering or vending with us, there's separate tabs and forms for all of those. We've been really lucky to have some incredibly talented local tech-savvy folks who have helped us get everything kind of put together in a more easily navigated way. So sponsorship information is available on our website. We also this year, Mary Noble, we've got a Friends of the Market program that our new community-led board was super passionate about. So we're putting that together. And with that, you'll get some form of really special market merchandise. You'll get a Friends of the Market sticker, and it's super low cost. And that's just going to help make sure that we can sort of keep the sponsorships on an individual level going throughout the season, and that folks feel like they're getting something for their money, of course, not, aside from just being an awesome supporter of the market. But that's that program. We're rolling that out this season, and I'm really delighted to see what comes out of it. Of course, I have to mention that all donations your purchases of the sponsorship program, the Friends of the Market program, will be tax deductible this year. So even if you're just an individual donating to the market, we thanks to Barefoot Baby Foundation out of McDowell County, we are able to write those off, write you a receipt so you can deduct them.
Oh, that is great. That's awesome. Well, all right. I'm so glad you guys have that set up on the website. You can volunteer, you can be a sponsor, or you can be a Friends of the Market.
Mm-hmm. Or you can just come on in and keep our local businesses alive by shopping with us every Saturday.
Awesome. Well, let's get in a little bit about the spring market. We've been talking about not the spring market, but the
main season market?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Well, it starts on May 3rd. We're going from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m., sorry, like always, or like we have done for the past several years. And we will be located at 130 Montreat Road, right behind the First Baptist Church of Black Mountain, under the Oaks, they call it.
I love that. Under the Oaks. Not in the Oaks, but under the Oaks.
Under the Oaks. We've got this beautiful green space that's extremely walkable. We've done a lot of work to mulch the ground so that it's a little bit more even and therefore more easily accessed by folks with walkers or canes, strollers, or wheelchairs. And our information booth is right there at the market entrance, so you guys can gather information about what's happening during the season. We have been running some special events for the past 2 years, and those have been really widely received. Our spring Harvest Festival, pardon me, is the kickoff day. It's our opening day, May 3rd. And then we'll have a summer harvest festival, an autumn harvest festival, and then our holiday harvest festival is on November 22nd to tie things up.
Yay. I love how you're all doing the harvest festivals.
It allows us to kind of dig into some of the extra programming and to open the market up a little in a more expansive way during those special events. So we're really excited about it.
Well, I just want to give the audience kind of a visual perspective. I know you're listening, but when you walk into the market, you see so many colorful veggies, flowers, pastries, music, wonderful people. It is an experience to go. If you have not been, I really encourage you. And it's a place where people meet new friends, old friends, and like I said, if there's so many people to educate you on all the different vendors, from mushrooms to baking to local produce to eggs to meat. I mean, there's something for everybody there. A kids booth, so it's a magical place. It really is.
I think that is absolutely one of the things that drew me to this work, is that the people make this market magical. When you walk in, you're hard pressed to find a frown. And our crew of volunteers and our staff, we work really hard to make sure that that sort of quality of gathering space is carried into this coming season. So I think that the community aspect is certainly one of the most important parts of this market. And we're thankful that we get feedback that confirms that for us. We get a lot of folks from out of town come through our doors during the tourist season. And one of the most common pieces of feedback that we get is, this market feels different. And I've been all around the country, and this is the most welcoming, most beautiful little market that I've ever been to. We get that every year, at least 5 or 6 times, at least since I've been here. And that, I think, speaks to the quality of vendors, but also the people that make up the market.
Yeah, and the connection between everybody.
Absolutely.
The connection. And I agree. I feel like it's been that way for a while. It's gotten stronger and stronger and stronger. And, it's so nice to be able to go there and remember the memories from the past, and then look how much it's grown. Last year, it was really a game changer, and it's because of the vendors, the community people that support it, and you, Jacqueline, as well. So, it's been really wonderful to see how much it's grown, and I am just so happy that we're all working together.
Well, we are, and we cannot, right back at you, because we could not do this without volunteers like your husband and without sponsors like Noble and Company Realty.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Well, is there anything else you want to talk about before we end the show today?
I think that the most important takeaway that folks can, gather from this is that our farms and local small businesses are a critical component of what makes this community so special. And showing up to local small businesses each day and on Saturdays, every Saturday, is going to ensure that we can build a brighter, more vibrant, more beautiful future for our children and our grandchildren. We, thanks to the help of an incredibly loyal customer, Stephanie Byers, we put together a GoFundMe, and by the end of the season, we were able to raise almost 40 grand, and that money has gone to small businesses, local farms, and families who were, really heavy hit. And so we hope to transition that program into our food access program so that it feeds into our Market Bucks program, which allows people to come into the market, and if they have run out of their SNAP money, or if the bottom drops on those SNAP programs and other food access programs, then the market itself can facilitate the purchase of these fresh veggies and fresh made bread, products, all the food products coming into the market, so that folks feel, supported by Black Mountain Tailgate Market.
I love it. I love it. Well, speaking of, and you might have already answered this question, but one of the last questions that we ask before we close is we ask our guests to share one thing with the audience that has changed their life for the better.
I told our head volunteer, Catherine, that I wasn't going to cry during this interview. I think, well, there's many things. But certainly hearkening back to the theme of our conversation, it's community, because I have seen so much beauty and love come out of this community in the wake of Helene, watching people love on and respond to needs, and to, pull up their pants and get it done and heed the call. It's been tremendously impactful, and I am absolutely filled with gratitude to be able to witness that kind of community response during such a devastating time. I'm sorry.
We're having a real conversation. That's why people listen, and it's true. I've said the same thing about so many folks that I've interviewed for Helene, just how amazed I was with everyone put their walls down.
Yeah.
Everyone opened their hearts and said, what do you need? And some people had to learn to receive, and that's hard. And then some people had to learn to give or just gave because it was easy, and so thank you for showing up and having a real conversation here. And it's important for us to share our stories.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
Well, hopefully this is Jacqueline's second time on the Mountain Magnolia show. She came, I think she was like in the first 5 back in the day, and we are now at episode number 40. So thank you so much for coming and just being on the Mountain Magnolia. So, guys, thank y'all so much for listening to the Mountain Magnolias. A big shout out to 96.1 or 103.9 The Bigfoot for being such a wonderful local radio station. And you can also listen to us on podcast platforms, Spotify, Apple, and search us on Facebook if you have a guest that you are interested in having. Please let me know, or if you're interested, you can message me. And I hope you guys have a beautiful day. And again, thank you so much for showing up and listening to the Mountain Magnolia. Till next time.
Thank you for joining us for Mountain Magnolias with your hosts, Mary Noble Braden and Leanne Lewis. Join us next time for more interesting stories from the Swannanoa's most interesting people as we give you something to talk about. Mountain Magnolias is a production of Noble & Company Realty in Black Mountain. For more information, please call them at 828-357-5243. 828-357-5243.
The preceding has been a production of Signal Hill Studios. For more information, please call 704-872-0550.